few lectures, we're really kind of going to get at really at the real heart of how muscle contraction occurs, and we're going to be putting it all together. Ultimately, remember, when I have skeletal muscle contraction, it ultimately is going to start with a nerve impulse from a neuron of a nerve. A neuron is the nerve cell. Just like muscle fibers are the cells of the whole muscle, neurons will be the cells of the nerves. And the neuron starts the whole thing off. You know, there will be an electrical impulse that travels down the neuron to the muscle fiber, and that electrical impulse will then be carried into the muscle fiber to actually cause contraction. And that whole process is called excitation-contraction coupling, where we're coupling how the muscle is excited with actually getting contraction. And so again, where we'll start with a nerve impulse traveling down a neuron and arriving at what is called the neuromuscular junction. And the neuromuscular junction is where that neuron will meet the muscle fiber. And then that electrical impulse, what we call that electrical impulse in physiology, we call it an action potential. You see that word right here. Here's the action potential. An action potential is synonymous with electrical impulse. They mean the same thing. And this action potential, after traveling down the neuron to the neuromuscular junction, it will then be transmitted via a chemical means using a neurotransmitter to the muscle fiber, where a new action potential will then be generated, and that action potential will then travel down the T-tubules. And as the action potential travels down the T-tubules, ultimately it will cause the sarcoplasmic reticulum to release calcium, and then the change in calcium, the calcium will then interact with the troponin and tropomyosin, the regulatory proteins on actin. It'll expose the actin binding sites, myosin will bind, and we'll get contraction. And so we're going to look at that in detail in the next couple lectures. Thank you.